On this edition of Gameball NFL Endzone, we're going to continue to talk about all the happenings in the National Football League during this offseason, from trades to signings and a lot more. Why else find it anywhere else to talk about your favorite football team? But of course, Gameball NFL Endzone. It begins right now. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Gameball NFL Endzone, where of course the football season never ends. I'm Marcus Young Genius Jenkins.
I'm Michael O'Reilly.
I'm Luke Hartnett.
And we're going to get back into the second installment of the 2018 NFL offseason. There's been a lot of crazy things happening, from a lot of big signings, a lot of key trades, even some head scratchers as far as some players being cut from the rosters. But we're going to jump into it first. We're going to start with the Green Bay Packers and trading the cornerback Demarius Randall to the Cleveland Browns for exchange of quarterback Deshaun Kitson. Demarius Randall 2017 stats include 47 tackles, 4 interceptions. He was 255 of 476 on pass attempts for 2,894 yards, 11 touchdowns. However, he did throw 22 picks, and he had a 53% completion. Another big move by the Cleveland Browns. Mike, I'll start with you. What do you think about this pickup by the Browns?
Before I get to that, what's the slogan to the Browns, Luke? Wolf, 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 wolf. That's what I think about the Cleveland Browns. And ever since they got the new GM or executive, they're not playing. They're meaning business. They want to change the culture, trying to get a winning tradition to go along with head coach Hugh Jackson. For right now, we don't know. He's going to be gone by next year, whatever. We'll have to see, but it tells me that they want to change the culture. They want to be aggressive. They got all the cap space in the world, and they got all the ammunition in the world for draft picks and getting players here and there, do some trades, all of that. So Cleveland, they got a good player out of Green Bay Packers. He's a playmaker, he's a hard worker. Every now and then he has up and downs, hit and misses, but this kid can ball. And I think Cleveland got a skilled player to go along with their secondary to improve, because they got to compete with the Pittsburghs and their wide receiver crew. You got Baltimore, who's trying to get back up top, and you also have Cincinnati Bengals, who occasionally can be a hit and miss. We don't know. But Cleveland is trying to be for real, and let's see if they can hit on these trades and picks as well.
I'm excited to see Deshaun Kaiser get basically a new start here. I think he came out. I think he came out of Notre Dame a little early. I would like to see him go for another year at Notre Dame. I believe it was an early entry. Remember, so you can correct on that. But I think, however long he's at Green Bay for, he ain't gonna be a Packer for long. A couple of years. I mean, he'll be the duration what they signed him for. But I'm curious to see him get another shot at starting after a stint at Green Bay here. I also think it's a significant upgrade for the Packers over Brett Hundley at back as well. And in the event that Rodgers gets hurt again, which he's done once or twice in his career, he's more Matt Flynn, less Brett Hundley. That's a good thing for Green Bay.
Oh yeah, I failed to mention about that Green Bay picking up Kaiser. Kaiser was thrown under the wolves. Let's be fact. Cleveland is mostly with players' career ended if you go there to sign big money or get drafted. Let's be honest, Cleveland has been hit and miss with quarterbacks since early parts of 2000 or so. So with Deshaun Kaiser going to the Packers, like he was alluding to, it's a new fresh start, new beginning, and he get learned for a very talented quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, aka A-Rod of the NFL, not baseball. So he'll get about a good 2-3 years sitting and watching him, and he'll grow and he'll be a good quarterback for some other teams when he gets a starting opportunity.
Cleveland Browns, another big move. You have a franchise quarterback now with Tyrod Taylor. You get Landry from the Dolphins. Now you get another talented cornerback now. So we'll see what happens with this. The Cleveland Browns making some serious moves. This is only the beginning of the offseason, so we still have months to go before the start of the NFL season. So it's going to be interesting to see the product that they actually put on that field come week 1. We're going to move on. We're actually going to stay on the topic, actually, of the Cleveland Browns, as they traded former first-round draft pick of 2015, Danny Shelton, and this year's 2018 fifth-round pick to the New England Patriots for a 2019 third-round draft pick. The 2017 stats, he did record 34 tackles. So I'm going to start with you. What do you think about this pickup for the New England Patriots in this transaction with the Cleveland Browns?
I heard the other day that Belichick's made like over 100 draft day deals for the Patriots. That's not an exaggeration. I can't remember the exact number. He's made just an insane amount of draft day deals. He'll find a way to spin that 2019 fifth rounder into the 2018 draft and whatever else. And it's just Belichick being Belichick at this point.
Belichick, coaches and teams try and emulate what he does, but you can't emulate the Kung Fu master of the NFL, which is Belichick. He's like the Shaolin monks up here where everybody else is down here. I mean, this dude could take a bum player and make him to a great player. He's been doing that for years, year in, year out, and teams why just throw their hands in the air like, really? I can't do that, but he goes to here and he balls out what's going on. It happened with Chris Hogan when he was with the Bills and he had a stellar season. It just keeps on going on year in, year out, and year in. Like with Corey Dillon back in the day, who was with the Bengals, they were saying he was a cancer problem, this and this, that. He's like, come on to the New England Patriots. And what happened? Stats is all through. Same thing with Randy Moss, same thing with Raheem Harrison, and players, so on and so on. Belichick takes what you do well and make it to excellence. That's what he does so well. He utilizes you and put you in a situation you can be successful to make plays on offense or defense. So this is a win for Bill Belichick because Danny Shelton and the defensive coordinator, he didn't fit in that scheme, the aggressive, like blitzing type, and he didn't fit that mold. He's more a 3-4 technician defensive player, and Belichick would utilize him to his strengths, and this is a good steal.
Well, the Cleveland Browns, the New England Patriots, like you just mentioned, that's why he's basically the Phil Jackson, it seems like, of the National Football League. Someone that knows how to make players and utilize them to the best ability and make them into better players. So,
well said.
This is definitely going to be interesting to see how he works out for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Moving on from Cleveland, New England, we're going to discuss former Seattle Seahawks cornerback Richard Sherman. Of course, many of us know by now, did sign with the San Francisco 49ers. He agreed to a 3-year term worth $39.15 million with $5 million guaranteed. His stats for 2017 were 35 tackles. He also did have 2 interceptions as well. I want to start with you with this one. Surprising that they let go of Richard Sherman and allowed him to walk. What do you think about this pickup for San Francisco?
Well, let's just start off with the Seattle Seahawks. I was surprised. I thought he was going to retire as Seahawk for life. I mean, they couldn't find a way to restructure his contract because he didn't want to go nowhere. The city of Seattle embraced Richard Sherman like that, and just that he was the main ingredient to their success, especially that Super Bowl run against Denver Broncos. He was making plays year in and year out. He also leads the NFL in interception besides when he got to the draft. So he's a good playmaker. He's a balling machine. So yeah, Seattle, they're kicking themselves for letting him go and all this other stuff. But the 49ers, I think, got it still because John Lynch is trying to build that culture that he played when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had one of the best defenses for years. So he's trying to fit in that culture with the Buccaneers by signing Richard Sherman. And he's got a chip on his shoulders because he had Achilles heel tear through the season. And I think he's going to prove everybody wrong, which he always does. He's going to come out firing with that swag and all that. And I say this year he have about 5 to 6 interceptions going along with 50 tackles and then some. So this is a good pickup for the 49ers, and the Seahawks is going to have to deal with him for 3 years and a 6-game season.
I think if Seattle can find a way to keep Earl Thomas, he's with the Cowboys letting go of a Des Bryant here the other day, that gives him the cap space to get Earl Thomas, kind of a boyhood team. If they can find a way to keep Earl Thomas, Justin Coleman and Shaq Griffin played very well at the corners for Seattle last year. Bam Bam Cam, he's doomed to be back and healthy again this upcoming year. They can find a way to keep Earl Thomas. What really made that Seahawks, that Legion of Boom go was Cam and E.T. So, and you can't really call Richard Sherman. That's a great pickup for the Niners. He's going to help. He's going to be that veteran presence in a young locker room. But well, you can't really call Richard Sherman I wouldn't call him damn good. He started 99 games in a row. Started 99 games in a row before he got hurt. So, but I think Coleman and Griffin will be able to. Coleman a little improvement. We'll see more about him going forward. Really like Shaq Griffin. Like him a lot. Hope they can get his brother out of Central Florida. We'll talk about that later. But if the Seahawks can draft well, this has great potential to be a win-win.
And Richard Sherman wanted to be close to his home state of California, which he's originally from. So this is good for the 49ers. Like he was saying, his veteran presence there, and they'll learn a lot. And he can be a leader for the young guys coming up on that defense.
Super Bowl champion as well, bringing that winning culture to San Francisco. Richard Sherman, hands down, an excellent pickup for the 49ers. So I can't wait to see how he pans out and how he helps build that defensive culture down there in San Francisco. Moving on, we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and former Jacksonville Jaguar wide receiver Allen Robinson and the Chicago Bears agreed to a 3-year term deal. The 3-year deal is worth $42 million. His stats for the year 2017, he did have a catch for 17 yards. He did miss, however, the 2017 season with an ACL tear. Luke, I would like to start with you with this. How does this pick up for the Bears? And also, obviously, giving another opportunity, a fresh start for Allen Robinson, who we just mentioned is coming off the ACL tear.
Well, it allows the Bears a chance to absorb the loss of a Meredith. Cam Meredith was assigned to office sheet. The Bears didn't match. They let him walk. I believe that happened after they picked up Robinson. I would like to see the two on the same team, especially with Trubisky coming into a second year. He kind of struggled mightily last year. He's a good fit, though. I'm not going to say a great fit because, the Bears haven't really had who's the last premier receiver they really had? Willie Gold? Curtis Conway, maybe? Even then, you're stretching. So I know they had Alshon Jeffrey for a bit,
and
but
they did have Brandon Marshall as well.
Brandon Marshall was very well there too, but it'll be interesting to see how he works out there because they're not really a throw first football team. I think they're trying to lean that way, but in November and December playing outdoors in Soldier Field, throwing the football is kind of not on the game plan for them. So I understand it be so, but. I'd like to see them draft an up-and-coming receiver as well. No one really comes to mind that sticks out. So I'm thinking, second, third round or whatever else. We'll see who's available then. But he could be he proved the year before he got hurt he could be a first banana.
Well, before you say that, I was going to say Calvin Ridley from Alabama, who is a true #1 receiver. But I like this move for the Bears. And also, the Bears got rid of John Fox and his coaching staff because that was a disaster. They didn't even make the playoffs when his tenure there. So they got another steal of a coach was from the Andy Reid trade of Kansas City to go on with Philadelphia. And he's also offensive mind as well. So I think this is a good pickup. And also, you have a young quarterback in his second year. And coaches under Andy Reid develop quarterback very well. For instance, like the Philadelphia Eagles head coach with the quarterback and Nick Foles, Super Bowl champs. Am I wrong? So they develop quarterbacks well. I think he could work with Trubisky well and get him to eliminate his mental mistakes, and he will have a very productive year. And Allen Robinson, big size receiver, he can go up, catch the ball, good separation. But with the ACL tear, it's going to take him a minute. But once he gets fully healthy, he's a beast, and he want to show that in Jacksonville. Like he was saying, if they could get another receiver to go along with Allen Robinson, the Bears' offense could be lethal. So I think Calvin Ridley with Allen Robinson, 1-2 punch right there. He also has Gabriel from the Falcons, who's a speedy wide receiver coming off the edge as well. And you also signed Burke from the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a tight end, so that could be an offensive treat to go with the Chicago Bears.
So absolutely a big salute definitely to Allen Robinson, of course, missing the 2017 season with that ACL tear, getting a new start in Chicago, new contract, an opportunity to play for a team and still show that he has that talent. So definitely best of luck to Allen Robinson as he is now a member of the Chicago Bears. We're going to jump into the Denver Broncos and signing former Minnesota Viking quarterback Case Keenum to a 2-year deal worth $30 million. His 2017 stats include 325 of 481 on pass attempts, 3,547 passing yards, 22 touchdowns to go along with only 7 interceptions on a 67% completion percentage. Mike, I want to start with you with this. What do you think about this pickup for the Denver Broncos signing Case Keenum?
I like this pickup, but can Denver Broncos get an offensive line to go with this pickup? Because last year their offensive line couldn't block nobody. They still have a legitimate number 1 defense, but their defense is on the field a lot because the offensive line didn't block well and all that. So if they could get in the draft with the 5th pick overall, that Nelson guard kid from Notre Dame, and you get a right tackle to go along with it, this could probably be one of the best offensive line in the NFL because you have potential.
Right.
With Case Keenum, he's a good quarterback, very good arm. He's been criticized because he's undersized, but he still makes plays in the pass game and with his legs, and he's very smart, consistent. So if you get off a guard and a tackle to go along with that offensive line, the sky's the limit for the Denver Broncos.
The problem is that he's still going to be the fourth, depending on how Pat Mahomes is in Kansas City, he's probably going to be the 4th best quarterback in the division, which normally doesn't bid well. But as Mike mentioned, get the offensive line repaired. They got a great defense already still at Denver, even without Aqib Talib there anymore. They still got Von Miller, they still got Chris Harris, they still got other parts of the pieces. They still got Shane Ray, I believe. That defense is still solid. If they can just find a way to give that defense a break, I don't care who the quarterback is for, find a way to give that defense a break, they can get 8 wins next year.
So I'm going to ask you both this actually, because he's only signed to a 2-year deal. I mean, it's worth $30 million. Is this the Broncos saying that we have faith in you as our quarterback? However, you know, if you can show improve after these 2 years, you know, he can sign to a longer term.
It's the latter, isn't it?
I see it's a prove it deal to where let's see how these first 2 years are. If you excel, we'll give you a bigger contract.
Case Keenum, once again, a 2-year contract worth $30 million to move him from Minnesota, now a new member of the Denver Broncos, franchise quarterback. We'll see what happens. And now we're going to move on to a big pickup by the Kansas City Chiefs, signing former Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Sammy Watkins, and they have agreed to a 3-year term worth $48 million, including $30 million in guaranteed bonus. His statistics for the 2017 season include 39 catches, 593 yards to go along with 8 touchdowns. We're going to start with this. How big of this pickup is it for the Kansas City Chiefs?
It's just a huge pickup. I mean, you got Sammy Watkins to go with Tyreek Hill, to go along with Travis Kelce, to go along with DeMarcus Robinson, to go along with Stanley Wilson, to go along with Kareem Hunt out of the backfield, to go along with Old Pat Mahomes going to have to do is just drop back, close his eyes, throw it as far as he can. Let someone run and get it. It's going to be the easiest offense in the world for him. Love the pickup. Love it.
I like the pickup too, but a knock on Sammy Watkins is can he stay healthy. Because we all know he's injury prone. He is a talented player, but can he stay healthy? Yes, they have daily weapons to give Patrick Mahomes, but the issue is, can he stay healthy? He can stay healthy. He can be a dynamic player for the Chiefs that can stretch the field to go along with Tyreek Hill, who also can stretch the field. Travis Kelce, who can stretch the middle and make plays on the outside as well to go along with Breeze Hunt and the crew. So it gives Patrick Mahomes toys to play with, but can Sammy Walker stay healthy though?
A huge pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is also going to be an opportunity to see, Patrick Mahomes, is he the real good quarterback? He has a lot of options on the offensive end. We know Andy Reid is also a quarterback's coach. So this could be a loaded Kansas City Chiefs offense. The big things to come, we'll find out. We're going to move on from the Kansas City Chiefs and Sammy Watkins. And we're actually going to keep on the subject of the Kansas City Chiefs, The Kansas City Chiefs and former Dallas Cowboy linebacker Anthony Hitchens have agreed to a contract deal. His 2017 statistics are 84 tackles. However, he didn't record a sack or an interception. Mike, I'm going to start with you with this pickup. What do you think about this pickup by the Chiefs?
The Chiefs got to steal because he's a hell of a player in Dallas to go along with Sean Lee. When Sean Lee was injured, he was the main guy to sit and calling on that defense that kept it going. Once Sean Lee came back, it made his job easier. He can ball out. He's a sideline player. He can make tackles open space. He can also be a good player in the pass coverage as well. So this is a good pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs to replace one of their veterans who they had to let go. So the Chiefs defense can make some noise by signing Hitchens for this season.
It justifies them letting Derek Johnson walk. He's going to be Derek Johnson 2.0. Otherwise, it's a fail.
So this game will be a hit or a miss by the Kansas City Chiefs. And improving on the defensive end is something that we'll definitely have to wait and see as well. Moving on, former Carolina Panthers defensive tackle Star Lutulele and the Buffalo Bills have reached a 4-year deal. The disclosed amount of that deal has not been reported. His 2017 statistics are 25 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 0 interceptions. Mike, I'm going to start with you on this one. What do you think about this pickup by the Buffalo Bills?
It's a huge pickup from the Buffalo Bills because they're replacing Kyle Williams, who's supposedly retired and all that, and to go along with other players. He's a huge pickup. I mean, he can stop the run and he can rush the quarterback as well. He's a good player on defense. He balled out when he was in the Carolina Panthers, so this is a good pickup for the Buffalo Bills defense to be more successful in the Sean McDermott coaching era in year 2.
This could be a big loss for the Panthers. Be curious to see what they do on the draft. Not necessarily a drafting position, but to maybe swing a trade on draft day or whatever else, or draft weekend to get you want to call it. But and it's a good pickup for the Bills, but it could be equally damaging for the Panthers. Kind of a head scratcher, if you ask me.
Buffalo Bills, 4-year deal with Star Lutulele. I mean, this could be another hit and miss. Would you both agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see if this makes or breaks. Hopefully improves if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. Hopefully this does.
He fits the identity of the Buffalo Bills. It feels like he shouldn't have drafted him.
Yeah.
All right, Star Lutulele, a new member of the Buffalo Bills on the defensive end. We'll see how he helps them on the defensive side of the football. Next, the Chicago Bears signed former Philadelphia Eagles tight end Trey Burton, and they have reached a 4-year deal. His 2017 stats were 23 catches, 248 yards to go along with 5 touchdowns. We're going to want to start with you. How big of this is a pickup for the Chicago Bears?
Well, I mean, any and all better experience on the offensive side of the ball the Bears are going to need. Trubisky needs all the help he can get. That's not a knock on him. It's just, it goes to show how kind of a stacked deck he was going against last year. So, I mean, he's a throwback tight end. He can block, he can catch. He's not a freak dollar by any means. He's not Gronk or Travis Kelce, but he's not some of the kind of the less held tight ends that are kind of like glorified offensive line, for lack of a better term either. So he's kind of that fine line of blocking and pass catching.
Yeah, this is a good move by the Bears. Like he was moved to get that veteran presence and help out the young quarterback. He's a good athletic tight end. You can also throw some wildcat passes with him here and there to the quarterback like they did in the Super Bowl. So this is a good pickup for the Bears. He can block in the running game and he can get open for the pass game as well. And don't underestimate the speed because he can burn you and if you screw up in the coverage. So this is a good pickup for the Bears.
All right, another move by the Chicago Bears. That's another team that seems to have been very busy. You talk about the Kansas City Chiefs have been really busy. The Cleveland Browns have been fairly busy thus far. And once again, this is only the beginning of the 2018 offseason, so there's definitely still much time before they even start this training camp and what have you. So you can definitely tell that there's a lot of teams that are definitely trying to push and improve and try to make themselves into contenders. Speaking of contenders, former Washington Redskins quarterback Kirk Cousins agreed to a 3-year, $84 million contract to remain with the team. Fully guaranteed contract. His 2017 stats include 347 of 540 pass attempts, 4,083 yards, completions, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions on a 64% completion rating. What do you think about this re-signing of Kirk Cousins?
I like this move. And when he was with the Washington Redskins, he didn't really have much to work with. The offensive line was depleted with injuries and was near disaster, but he was still very productive in that offense. But he goes from that offense to the Minnesota Vikings offense, a much better offense. He already has a #1 defense that he can rely on. So with him, under him, that offensive line, in my opinion, the second best offensive line in the NFL. Kirk Cousins is going to have a stellar season. He got a playmaker, Stephon Diggs. You got Calvin Cook coming back from the injury who can make plays out of the backfield. You got Rudolph who can make plays in the tight end. There's so many weapons that Kirk Cousins can play with. It's not funny, but can he step up and get over the hump and make it to the playoffs and deep run as well? So this is a good move by the Vikings.
And that doesn't include the fact that he gets to play 8 dome games with Minnesota, a 9th dome game against Detroit, warm weather outdoor games in September, October against whatever road opposition they face them as well. So his numbers should, not only it isn't talent-wise, but just the effect of indoors and whatever else should be a big benefit for him as well.
Big sign up for Kirk Cousins, once again a 3-year deal worth $84 million. Moving on, speaking of the Vikings, former Minnesota Vikings quarterback Sam Bradford is signing a 1-year prove-it-yourself deal worth $20 million. His 2017 stats were 32 of 43 on pass attempts, 382 yards, 3 touchdowns. However, he was cut the rest of the season due to an injury. Michael, I want to start with you on this one. What do you about this signing of Sam Bradford?
With the Cardinals, they could have went and got Teddy Bridgewater. This is basically telling me it's about to be a disaster season once you sign Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford only had 1 good year, which is his rookie season, and that's it. Every year, he's been injury prone. So for the Arizona Cardinals to sign him to a 1-year, $20 million deal, this tells me this is about to be a bust for the Arizona Cardinals. They're likely might draft a quarterback in the 2nd round for Sam Bradford's backup. They could have signed other quarterbacks, decent quarterbacks, like, for instance, Case Keenum and Teddy Bridgewater. Those were the Vikings' backup, but those were the 2 quality quarterbacks for the Vikings. So they could have signed one of them 2 players. I didn't like it for the Arizona Cardinals.
Their playoffs. I mean, he gets deals like this because he remains an immense talent. If he's healthy, if he plays a full 16, Arizona's in the playoffs. Might even win a game or 2. But again, like Mike said, he's kind of made a paper mache. But if he stays healthy, the Cardinals are going to be in the playoffs.
Sam Bradford, a risky signing. I mean, only 1-year deal, so I mean that is definitely a prove it yourself. You have the potential there, and he is a solid quarterback, no question about it. We'll see how he does in Arizona. Former Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Paul Richardson and the Washington Redskins have reached a 5-year, $40 million deal worth $40 million. $20 million of that is a guaranteed bonus as well. 2017 stats: 44 catches, 703 yards, along with 6 touchdowns. Luke, I want to kick this off to you. What do you think about this deal with the Redskins with Paul Richardson?
If Alex Smith is ever going to be running for his life this year, he needs to look at the film of old Russell Wilson. He's got the similar mobility that Russell Wilson does. Just scramble around, buy yourself some time, throw it to Paul Richardson. He'll catch it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times it looked like Russell's going to not only get set, he somehow Houdini out of that, throw up what appeared to be a I can't call it desperation because it was almost a go-to play for him in the latter half of the season. He threw it into coverage. Paul Richardson was just somehow had a way to go, I mean, in basketball terms, over the back and just make play after play on the ball.
I don't like this move somewhat, but if the Redskins can find a way to get for the offensive line to stay healthy and get 1-2 more plays on that the other offensive line, this would be a great move, but it's a good move. And if Alex Smith can find him and really have to run for his life, it all depends on the offensive line. If the offensive line can stay healthy, Paul Richardson is a steal deal. So it just depends on the offensive line if they can stay healthy. If they get 1 or 2 pieces here and there on that offensive line spot, then they hit a home run with this deal.
Paul Richardson once again going from the Seattle Seahawks to the Washington Redskins on a 5-year, $40 million deal. Former New England Patriots receiver Danny Amendola signs a 2-year deal worth $12 million with the Miami Dolphins, with $8.5 million in the guaranteed bonus. His statistics for 2017 were 61 catches to go along with 659 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike, I want to start with you with this one. What do you think about this signing?
Well, this is a good signing for the Dolphins, but we all know in the past when former Patriots players go to different teams with bigger money contracts, they don't produce as well. So can he produce and be that leader role? We'll have to find out and see. And he's going to take the money and hopefully he can be productive because he was productive with the Patriots when Julian Edelman went down. So by getting him that veteran leadership, that'll help the young Dolphins receiving corps. And it kind of picks up the slack of Jarvis Landry, who they traded to the Cleveland Browns, but we'll just have to see if this can be a hit or miss.
I think it's going to be a miss. He doesn't have Tom Brady throwing to him anymore. He doesn't have Jarvis Landry opposite the opposite way from either. He's in Cleveland now. Still not sure what the quarterback situation is going to be there. And something tells me that if he had any more left than what he does, Belichick's going to let him go to a division rival.
Yeah, I hear you. He wanted the money and do what's best for his family, but this could be a bust year for Amendola and that Dolphins offense like he was alluding to. Because you don't know if Tannehill going to be that same quarterback. You don't know whose quarterback's going to be in that spot for Miami Dolphins offense. We just have to see. It could be a hit or miss like I was alluding to.
So even though, I mean, the contract is there, but I mean, it's going to be interesting when you're accustomed to winning. You're accustomed to being a Super Bowl contender year in and year out. So to leave that to go to the Dolphins, hopefully this worth it for him.
He'll live in the South Beach. He'll still be winning.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. Former climates. Former Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Taylor Gabriel was signed with the Chicago Bears for a 4-year deal contract. His statistics for 2017 were 33 catches for 378 yards, and he did score 1 touchdown. We're going to start with you with this one. What do you think about this pickup?
It's kind of a trade for the sake of making a trade. It has a way to pan out for both parties. He's a proven veteran. He's going to win. He's going to be he's going to improve as opposed to disprove either team that he goes to. But it's a solid pickup, but it can be a win-win for both sides.
I like this move for the Bears. It helps out the young quarterback Trubisky. You can throw him a screen pass. He can turn that screen pass to a touchdown or a big game. And he also is a little fast burner guy. He was an undrafted rookie coming out. He had to prove himself against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. He did Michael Butler dirty with that juke move that was wide open for a 40-yard pass. So if he can do that for the Bears offense, the sky's the limit for Taylor Gamble. He can flat out play. He's a good route runner, and he's also very good in the deep route as well. He's a little underrated in his route running because he's accustomed to get deeper, but if they can utilize him well, this would be a good fit for the Bears offense.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see how he fares. The Bears have been pretty busy, it seems. So, especially on the offensive end, it seems they're starting to try to do something on as far as trying to put themselves in a position to.
But rather quietly too. I didn't know they were this busy until we started doing the podcast tonight. It's like I had no idea. I knew they made a few, couple of moves here or there, but man, they've been working.
Oh yeah.
Putting in work under the radar. All right, and that's going to do it for this edition of Gameball NFL Endzone. Stick with us. This coming Friday, we're going to talk about the NFL Draft and also give you our own version of the mock NFL Draft.
Social media, you can follow us on Facebook, Gameball College Kickoff / Gameball NFL SO, Twitter at GCK_GNFLE. You can follow your boy on Twitter at Gameball, all capitalized, _Mike, MYKE. You can also follow us on email or email us or something like that, fan letter at gck.gnfle. You can follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe, help us grow, share, whatever, at gck.gnfle. Instagram, you can follow us on there at gck_GNFLE. Our clothing website is tokendesigns.topeka.com/gameball. And your social media?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram as well at JoVilleENT. Also find me on Facebook under Marcus JoVilleENT Jenkins.
Find me on Twitter at Luke Hartnett 2. Find me on Facebook at Luke Hartnett. Instagram is Luke Hartnett as well.
All right, and that's going to do it for this edition of Gameball Info Endzone. Until next time, find out what's going on with your favorite NFL team, and we out.
Peace.